Germany has been stuck in a recession for over 3 years. Porsche, the pride of German engineering, just reported a staggering loss of $1.1 billion. Think about that for a moment. A company with world-class infrastructure, massive global brand, and massive economies of scale is bleeding cash. Volkswagen, which is one of the major car manufacturers in the world, just reported that it is going to close 3 major factories inside Germany. BMW, Mercedes, and almost every major German brand is struggling to stay alive. If giant companies with deep pockets that can afford billions of dollars are barely staying alive, what do you think is happening to small businesses? This is not a normal recession that fades away in a few quarters. This is structural, deep, long-lasting crisis. Germany is in a decline, and this is just the beginning. Germany, which was once called the engine of the European Union, has now become a sick man of the EU. So if Germany is going to go down, it risks pulling down with it the entire European Union. This is what is wrong with the German economy. The last 3 years has been very harsh for the German economy. You don't see a single positive quarter. The most positive quarter was 0.3 percentage growth in GDP, and since then it has been struggling, even though that unemployment in Germany has been pretty low at 4.1%. That is lower than the unemployment rate of the United States, where GDP grows way faster than Germany. If German economy is not growing when it's operating at full capacity, it has no chance to grow at all. It can't lower further the unemployment rate to 3%. Even if it does that, it is not going to change a lot. So every industry in Germany is going down. To understand what is wrong with the German economy, you have to understand what are the major drivers of the German economy. And Germany is an export-driven economy. It has been growing its economy by manufacturing things in Germany. Everybody knows German engineering. Everybody knows that if it's made in Germany, then it's top quality. And that's why demand for German goods across the globe has been increasingly high, especially when we talk about cars. So Germany would manufacture cars and high-quality products and would ship them to China. And in exchange, cash will move out of China to Germany, and that will grow the German economy. That money would be spent in growing the Germany's infrastructure, in building more trains, or simply building a far-growing, better economy. Germany would manufacture goods and will ship them to the United States. Cash would come back to Germany, growing the German economy. And most importantly, Germany would ship a lot of their cars back into the European Union, and a lot of cash would move from around the European Union back to Germany, growing the German economy. So if you look at the largest economies in the European Union, you see that by far Germany dominates the entire European Union. The second largest economy is France, but without Germany, European Union cannot possibly exist because France is drowning in debt. And now you see the most major problem here. Germany is losing the United States. Prior to 2024, before Donald Trump became the president and imposed such high tariffs on everybody, including Germany, Germany could sell their cars all across the United States. But now if you want to sell in the US your cars, please either build your cars in the United States or you will pay a 10% tariff. So if Germany was suffering, if German car manufacturers were struggling, on top of that, if they have to pay an additional 10% in tariff, the demand for German cars is certainly going to go down. By losing the United States alone, that is already a huge hit for Germany. Germany is also losing China because China's domestic brands are taking over. 10 years ago, most people would laugh at you if you tell them that you have purchased a Chinese car. But Chinese cars today are mainstream. Countries across the globe are importing Chinese cars in millions. Yes, you don't see them in the streets of the United States because there is 100% tariff on every Chinese car that you import to the United States, but the rest of the world imports them. In fact, Because there are minimal tariffs on Chinese EVs have dominated even the European Union, overtaking German car manufacturers. Prior to that, China was a huge market for German car manufacturers because, yes, there were Chinese car brands, yes, there were tariffs on German cars, but because German cars were far more superior than Chinese cars, people in China comfortably purchased those cars. But now, because the quality of Chinese cars is now matching the quality of German cars, and in some cases, those Chinese cars are even better than German cars, Chinese consumers more and more are turning into local Chinese brands. So Germany is essentially losing market share. And finally, Germany is even losing the European Union. Not because the European Union is imposing tariffs on Germany, which they cannot possibly do that because the European market is one giant market. But European economies are struggling. France is filled with debt and is barely trying to pass its budget. Italy is one of the most indebted countries in the world. And I'm not even going to talk about Spain or Greece. So demand, or the purchasing power within the European Union, is going down. So Germany is literally losing every major market that made German economy so great to begin with. And the statistics clearly show that. Since 2022, exports have fallen dramatically, and since then, pretty much almost every single quarter was a negative quarter for German exports. And this is the solution that they came up with, but this is a very wrong solution. If you look at countries, if you list them down as the most financially responsible countries, you will see Germany at the top of the list, because Germany has always been responsible with its finances, since it has a law that is called a debt brake. You cannot possibly borrow more than 0.35% of the GDP. That law was in place so that Germany does not overborrows money and will be filled with debt just like Japan, France, and the United States is today. That is a very great law, and that allowed German debt to GDP ratio to be some of the lowest all across the globe. But now they have made major amendments to that law. From now onwards, they made an exception that if those borrowings are for defense and infrastructure projects, then theoretically, Germany can borrow as much as it wants, as long as that money is spent to improve Germany's defense capabilities or to improve the infrastructure projects. Which is why Germany has announced a $500 billion infrastructure projects to renovate every infrastructure project that exists there in Germany. But that path hasn't always worked for countries. One of the best examples I can give you is Japan. Back in late 1980s and 90s, when the Japanese economy has collapsed, it was going through a deflation. It was in a recession. It wasn't growing at all. So Japan wanted to inflate the economy with a lot of debt to finally push the Japanese economy and the GDP to grow. It helped in the beginning because the Japanese government threw trillions or hundreds of billions of dollars into the economy, and it worked slightly. But since then, that didn't actually work out in the long run. And the Japanese GDP today is as much as it was back in 1990s. However, the debt to GDP ratio has grown from about 50% in 1980s to as much as 220%. Japan today has one of the highest debt to GDP ratios in the world. Other nations that have taken this path didn't end well. France, that was relying on debt a lot over the last 20 years, today cannot possibly pass a budget because they have a huge hole in the entire budget. The United Kingdom is on the same path as well. Greece, Spain, Italy, and many other nations. So this path that Germany is taking is only going to take Germany down and will push it in a much bigger problem. To fix the problem, we have to understand what is the real problem. If we don't identify the real problem, then the solution is always going to be wrong. If you look at the Germany's economic growth, you will see that it was primarily happening between the year 2000 to 2022. And that was the golden era for Germany. First of all, there was a weak China. China wasn't in a position that it could produce stuff that could match Germany. Yes, there were Chinese cars, but nobody would buy them. Even Chinese people would not buy them. So weak China presented an opportunity for Germany to dominate the global manufacturing. When I was a kid and people would say that it's made in China, we would automatically assume that it was a low quality product. But when we hear made in Germany, we would say it's a top quality product. But that is no longer true today. Germany also enjoyed cheap Russian energy that would flow from the heart of Siberia to German factories that allowed Germany to much farther lower cost and boost profits, which made those factories extremely profitable. During that period, we also had some of the lowest interest rates across the globe. Up until 2022, the world had low interest rates because inflation was low. There was a global structure. There were rules that everybody followed. But now the world is changing and nobody has actually such low interest rates. Even Germany, that has almost 0% inflation rate because the economy is not growing, cannot possibly borrow money at 1% interest rate just like the European Union could do prior to 2020. And prior to that period, United States did not have tariffs on the European Union. The United States had a policy that we want to embrace the European Union. We want to make the European Union reliant on the United States. So please come to the United States. Sell as much as you want. We will have lower tariffs and you also lower down your tariffs. Bush, Obama, Biden, you name it. But since 2022, the world has changed and a lot of things changed. First of all, strong China emerged with very strong manufacturing. People are now turning to Chinese manufacturing. There are things that China is manufacturing that Germany cannot possibly do that. Germany is no longer enjoying cheap Russian gas because that cheap Russian gas is now flowing into India and China. So Chinese factories are enjoying cheap Russian energy while Germany is forced to buy expensive American energy that is shipped from all across the Atlantic that simply increases the cost of producing those products. We have now high interest rates. You no longer can borrow money at 0% interest rates or 1% interest rate. Now you have to pay 3 or 4% in interest rate. So that also increases the cost of building. United States has imposed high tariffs. It's no longer zero tariffs. And those tariffs could increase further in the coming years. Who knows what Trump is preparing? Who knows who will be the next president of the United States? Wealth is moving into AI and technology. People are no longer interested in manufacturing. They want AI because everybody knows that AI is the future. And now let's ask the most basic question. How Germany has been preparing itself for this new era? Where are the AI and tech companies in Germany? You don't see them. These are the largest tech companies or the largest companies across Germany. Yes, SAP is technically a tech company, but it's not in a traditional sense tech company. It's not a global tech company. It is not competing with US, Chinese, or different tech giants. The rest of the largest companies in Germany are being dominated by manufacturing companies that are barely surviving. Germany has missed the tech revolution. Tech revolution happened in the US, China, and many other parts of the world. Those nations have produced Facebook, Tesla, Apple, Nvidia, and so on and so forth. What did Germany produce? Nothing. And now Germany is missing the AI revolution. AI revolution consists of multiple different things, from the softwares that OpenAI is creating to GPUs that are being designed by Nvidia and manufactured by TSMC. Do you see Germany playing any role in this triangle? Well, absolutely not. Not a single company in Germany today is playing an important role in the AI revolution. So no one wants to invest in Germany because there are no great investing opportunities in Germany, which is why the entire German stock market right now has a market cap of around $3 trillion. What is $3 trillion compared to the United States? Nvidia alone, a single company, has a market cap almost twice the size of the entire German stock market. And there is a long list of companies in the US that have a far bigger market cap than the entire German stock market. Do you see the big problem that Germany has been going on for years? This is basically a reality check that Germany is getting. So what do we have in conclusion? Manufacturing is failing, there is no AI industry, energy cost is rising, and the only path that Germany has taken is to borrow money to fix that problem. And if that borrowing is not going to work, then Germany will simply have all of these problems, but on the top of that, trillions of dollars of debt, where it has to pay hundreds of billions of dollars in interest. If Germany is not going to make massive, huge changes to its economy and won't focus on future technologies and future industries, then Germany has no chance. But you have a chance if you actually focus on those industries. You can't be waiting for governments to do that on behalf of you. You can do that by investing in those industries. And if you want to know what are the top 5 stocks that you should be buying right now, then check out the first link in the description of this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.